Today for our summer camp, we're talking about how we can always count on Jesus. We can always trust that He will always catch us and always be there for us. And so to do that, we are working on the trust ball. The wise man built his house upon a rock, and the rain came tumbling down. Just rain. The foolish man built his house upon the sand, and the rain came tumbling down. The rain came down, and the floods went up. Rain came down and the floods came up, and the house on the sand wandered Hey you. We finished our children's camp yesterday, and so today I've been spending most of the day just kind of catching up on all the stuff I didn't do through the week. Deep cleaning the bathroom and getting our room more deep cleaned and getting ready for tomorrow because we have a group of 5 people, 5 youth that are going to be staying with us for a week and a half. And I'm super excited to see them. I know some of them, and I haven't seen them in a while, and it'll be really fun to have them here helping and doing different things. So it's just been a busy day in that sense, but since I've had the chance to do a lot of like mundane work, I have gotten to listen to some really amazing things. One of the books I'm listening to is Daring Greatly by Brené Brown. I've read it before. This time I'm listening to it. It's been years, but it's just perfect timing. And it's finally starting to hit me like I knew it intellectually for a long time, that I am loved and that I don't have to do anything to prove it. But it didn't quite get into my heart. And lately it's kind of really sinking in, and I think it's because I failed so much lately. And after a while of failing a lot, you kind of think like, wow, like I don't really have another option but to accept the fact that I'm human and that even my best isn't always that great. Sometimes it's pretty lame, and that's part of being human, and that's okay. And we're all just doing our best in this world, and we can accept that of each other and then love each other through it. Because if we knew better, or if we had had different experiences or had different tools or different skill sets or whatever, we would do better. But we have what we have, we've learned what we've learned, and we're just trying to figure this out, right? And that's okay. And so I'm kind of just coming to grips with the fact, like it's actually really being ingrained in my heart, just the importance of understanding like we are worthy of love just because we're human and we're out here trying. And these podcasts just kind of reaffirm that truth, a little more deeply. And so I'll show you really quick what I've been working on today because I'm really excited about it. So we're going to be putting some bulletin boards on the road on the way to Solferino that share some of the things that there are to do in Solferino and get more people to our little community. And Kai designed these, and I think they're looking really cool. The kilometer sign is going to change depending on where we put them, but this is just an example for right now. And we're probably going to put names of the different things. So here's what the bulletin boards are going to look like. This is Escorcha, which is a really cool kayaking place. Arte Cafe. Escorcha, this is our ropes course. Down here is like bird watching. This lady knows so much about birds. It's amazing to go out with her. Destileria, they have the #1 gin. They won #1 in the world in China recently. It's here in Solferino. Yacalandia, he does a cool trip about the Yaca. There's our ropes course. This is a really beautiful hotel that my friend owns. It's really, really pretty. She's got such an eye for beauty. Discover the Bible. You can see the houses in the first century, what they would have looked like, the synagogues, learn more about like where Jesus walked. It's really neat. And the last one is my friend Susie. She does cooking classes, and you can just come and she'll teach you how to cook a Mexican meal as you're here for a visit or whatever, and it's super fun. So that's one thing. And then here we're putting these on tables at the Arte Cafe or where other restaurants will let us, that kind of show the different things we've got going here. And descubridosofrino.com so people can come and see. So he also made some flyers. So next week I hope to go to Halbosh and Chiquila and take them to the information booths and get more people coming here so we can get more resources to do this work. So I'm excited for that. And back to what I was talking about. So I was talking about the first podcast. I'll link it below. It's by a lady named Liz Moody. I'd never heard of her before, but it came up as a recommended podcast, and I like the title because it talked about like feeling behind in life. And I think I've lived a lot of my life feeling behind, like I'm trying to catch up. I've got this to do and this to do, and I'm never catching up. I'm always like behind on everything, and probably because I take too much on because of my optimistic nature, and then end up dropping some balls sometimes. And she talked about how, like, our destination in the end is death. Like, we're all reaching death eventually. And what are we in such a rush for? And to just kind of to counteract that feeling of like I'm behind, to kind of remember that the reason we're here is to grow and to learn. And we learn from everything, whatever experiences we're having. And so we can go into any situation and take a minute to appreciate the moment when we're feeling that sense of rush, and to remember like the whole learning process is happening regardless of what we're doing, right? Especially when we're leaning into the mystery or the uncertainty, right, of things, because that's where we do the most growth. And sometimes we want to have everything planned out and know where we're going and direction, which is what the second podcast also by her was about that I listened to. How we tend to like want to have a goal and then work towards that goal and make actionable steps. But I actually talked about this in my book as well, but she put it in this more beautiful way. She talked about like it's the direction. You kind of figure out like what feels warmer to you. You have this decision ahead of you, and you kind of weigh the options, and like this feels kind of cold, like the cold, warm, hot game that we play as kids. Which one of these feels like warmer to me, that I'm more curious about, that I want to learn from? And it doesn't mean that we'll accomplish whatever it is that we think that's going to take us to, but in that curiosity, we get to the learning experience that we needed to know the next step. And I just love that idea of leaning into our curiosity, to listening to our bodies. I think we're all really good at logically figuring out what might be best, but the idea that it's in our mind and in our heart that we know what to do. And in our heart, we've got to really listen to that intuition, something I've really been practicing lately, because I think I've been afraid to lean into it, like not sure what it is or if I can trust myself. But I'm learning more and more that intuition is real, and that it's leading me somewhere, and that I need to pay attention to what it's saying. It doesn't have to be a huge step. It can be the next step that doesn't feel like crazy, but it'll teach me the next little thing, So if you're thinking of a big move, like, okay, what would be the next thing I would do if I were to move? Well, I would research this. And so you just start moving forward in that direction, and you may change course, but you're moving forward in a direction. And that's how you grow and learn and lean into that uncertainty that helps us grow. And I just thought that was so beautiful. It's such a beautiful way to live life, without a rush, enjoying the experiences of learning and growth, not worrying so much about the destination. In a nonprofit, that's especially hard, right? Because we have these goals we want to accomplish, but there's so much beauty in the process, right? Like this kids camp we just had, it was beautiful, and it wasn't like a goal I had, but it's something that helps us get to know people in the community, learn from the other people we meet, and it's just a beautiful experience to get to know other people and learn from them. So every day we get a chance to do that and to learn from our experiences, and it makes life pretty beautiful when you remember to look at it that way, So that's some of the things I've been learning about today. Didn't film a lot because it's kind of boring to just watch me clean or whatever, but I did want to share some of those thoughts. I hope that they're helpful for you too.